strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Bulldog here, continuing on with this 5-part series where we are building beginner decks. We're building one for each element. The way this started was I was challenged to put together a list of cards that could go compete in silver for under $100 if you were purchasing them. Under $100, and I took that on and decided to break it down into 5 different videos, one for each element. Each deck is going to cost about $30 to $35, so if you choose any 3 of these decks, you can put together a fairly versatile lineup that can go compete in Silver League for under $100. So, and again, you don't necessarily have to buy these. I do recommend renting cards first before you buy them. That way you can kind of test them out. Cards are very, very cheap to rent. Go rent, even go grab all 5 of these, rent them, see which ones you like the best, which cards you use the most, go start buying those cards. It's a great way to start. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump in here and look at what we've got today for our Earth starter deck. This is the Earth deck. We are using Obsidian. That's our Chaos Summoner, so that's the cheapest summoner that we have. There are other good Earth Summoners that can build some other teams. If you have a little larger budget, I highly recommend getting Mylor. I feel like I'd be doing everyone a disservice if I didn't recommend going and picking up Mylor, but it is a little bit cheaper card, so for the budget we had for this, it didn't fit. And by the way, I'm showing the prices as they are when I made this video. I made them all at the beginning of the series, and so the prices are at the same time. And over time, these prices are going to change. Even the competition level could change, but right now we've got bronze level cards here that will be capable of competing in silver. And the strategy here is very simple. We're using Obsidian that gives +1 magic, and we're just gonna fill the lineup with magic cards. Magic is the most powerful attack type because under normal situations, it cannot be dodged, and it can attack from either the front line or the back line. So this deck actually has the fewest number of cards out there because I've splurged a little bit. And what I've splurged on is we've got Slip Spawn as the tank, and I've splurged on Spirit Hoarder. So we've also got like the $5 Fungus Fiend in there. I always recommend those zero mana fiends. They are, no matter what lineup you're using, they are a game changer. Absolutely. So I think they're a must-have at any level. So I do recommend those. But then Spirit Hoarder is another $6 card that spends a lot of our budget here. Spirit Hoarder has Triage that will heal up a damaged card in the back line. Well, Slip Spawn is a tank that has magic attack. Is a tank that has taunt and magic attack, so it gets hit in the back line. You can put a taunting tank in the back line to absorb damage, and Spirit Hoarder can heal up that tank. And that is a great strategy. I absolutely love it. If you're a new player looking for strategies to take away from this, these aren't necessarily meant to be strategy guides. They're meant to be deck building guides. But we're going to show some of the battles here. And this is one strategy I really hope you guys can take away from it is to use this. Let's dive into. Let's actually go ahead and dive into those battles and take a look at what we have here. So let's start off one where we use both types of heals. So we've got Goblin Psychic down here that's going to heal up the tank, Hill Giant, and heal. Spirit Hoarder is going to heal up my Stoic Slip Spawn. So we'll spread out their damage a little bit. This Tidebiter can't attack the back. He's got reach, so he can attack the front. So you have 2 cards attacking the front, 4 cards, actually 3 cards because Chaos Agent doesn't have any attack. 3 cards attacking the back line, so we've spread out their attack, and we're going to heal up both of them, and it's going to work extremely well. And then again, as far as damage, we're just loading up on the magic damage. It's pretty straightforward there. Magic attack is definitely very, very powerful. So got through their first tank here. We do lose our Hill Giant eventually, but after we've already gotten through 2 of their cards, Slip Spawn's doing a nice job tanking there in the back line, getting healed back up. Our Fiend had a chance for a kill, couldn't quite get it. I say we, this is not actually my team. I went through a database and found some battles. Went through a Splinter board actually, so worked pretty well. So there's one battle. Let's go take a look at another one here. And so yeah, it's nice if you can have a tank or something up front and in back, like we saw. We had enough mana to do that in the first one. But if you don't, you can still go with your tank in the back. And I mean, Chaos Agent can be a cheap tank to use up front. I actually didn't include Chaos Agent on the list, but this battle would still be won even if that card wasn't there. You could have put a Fiend in there. Harrington can become a a decent tank up there as well, because very, very fast and has flying, so it gets tons of dodge. So it can be sometimes a nice tank to include up front, because when you're in the front, what are you going to get attacked with from that frontline card across from you? Usually that's a melee card, right? Those melee cards, those melee tanks, a lot of times are kind of slow, so you can dodge them a lot of times. And then if you have your taunting tank in the back, any of those magic attacks or the faster ranged attacks or anything like that in the back aren't going to actually hit the Perryton. They'll go hit the slip spawn. So Perryton could be a nice sneaky tank of front. I shouldn't say sneak, because that's an ability, but sneaky is a nice little evasion tank up front, especially when you can kind of selectively filter what's likely to attack it. So let's look at another matchup here against one of the most powerful cards in the game, Kitty. Up against Kitty here in a Bronze League matchup. They're gonna have slip spawn up front, so this is Earth versus Earth. Which one's better, having Kitty heal up the tank up front, or having Spirit Hoarder heal the tank in the back? Well, I think you know the answer, right? Because this is included in the video. I just want to show off how powerful that Spirit Hoarder slip spawn combo is. They both have heals going on, but so Kitty's a 7 mana card, Obsidian's a 4 mana card. With that extra 3 mana, we're able to get a little bit more damage. The damage boost from Obsidian provides a little bit more damage, so actually able to pick up a win here, even against Kitty in this matchup. So it can work pretty well. So I think this is going to be one of the most popular elements. Those who play down in the lower leagues know how popular Obsidian is. Very, very powerful team, giving that +1 magic damage. One of the tanks that I actually did not include on this list is, I'll go back here real quick. We have Unicorn Mustang is an untamed card that is very, very good. A very powerful tank. Has a good chunk of health, even a decent amount of damage with it as well. But has a Void, and having Void in the Earth Splinter is very, very powerful, because if Earth is one of the options, especially if it's one of the few elements that you can actually play in a battle, there's a good chance you see Obsidian on the other side, right? So having Void to reduce that incoming magic damage, that's what Void's going to do. Cut magic damage in half. Incoming magic damage. That can definitely be very, very powerful. And it is a great tank, but unfortunately it's just too expensive to include in this budget. So your Mylor, your Unicorn Mustang, even adding some cards, like you've definitely got a lot of powerful cards. Is my point. That unfortunately we just couldn't finish. We couldn't fit into this deck. Queen Mycelia is a great example of another one that fits in very, very well. That's I wish I could have fit that card in there, but unfortunately just we got a budget, so we had to stick with it. But you watching this video might not have, or you just might be able to go rent it. So there's a lot of options. Let me know, what do you guys think? Was I right to put Spirit Hoarder in? Some of you more experienced players, or those of you who went and tried out this deck, what worked, what didn't, what would you recommend instead? Is this, if you're putting together 3 different elements, is this one that you would choose? For a lot of people it is. This is definitely in most players' top 3, at least based on the current cards we have in the game. So I'm curious to see feedback, and I hope this can help some of you. Again, over time, these prices are going to change. The league that they compete in is going to change as the meta changes, and we just go through the evolution of the game. But I hope this at least continues to give people a starting point. Like if you're a new player coming in and have no idea what to choose, you go out and get these. That's gonna put you ahead of somebody who's just kind of blindly going through and trying to choose things on their own. So should at least give people a good starting point. Thank you guys very much. Remember, we've got 2 more coming up the next 2 days. Fire and Water are the final 2. So those will be here later on in the week. I'll see you guys on those.